Well, hey everybody, happy Taco Tuesday. We are going to do another break tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Just a quick update on the collection that we've been working our way through. It's actually some of the stuff that we're going to be opening tonight, as we found a ton of unopened wax. This is 89 Topps football. We have opened some 92 Fleer basketball, and we've got a bunch of 87, 86, 85 Topps, baseball. We've got lots more football. We've got a bunch of different basketball, mostly from junk wax era. So like 88 through 94, 95 is kind of, you know, the typical what everybody associates with the most of the junk wax era. Although I would agree that it's probably still continuing. They just charge a lot more for junk nowadays. But just to show you kind of some of the stuff we pulled out of this collection, we've found here a couple of Shaquille O'Neal rookies, Troy Aikman rookie, a couple Brett Favre rookies. There's a Deion Sanders rookie. We've got Michael Jordan. Here's a bunch of old stuff from the 70s, some Harmon Killebrew. And these are in really, really good shape. I'm actually going to be sending a lot of these off for grading because even in a PSA 7, PSA 8, like this Tony Perez, you might as well just multiply the value by 20 to 30 if it grades out pretty well, even if the corners aren't perfect. Here's a really cool one, a Dick Butkus. That one really got me excited. I can remember my stepdad talking about Dick Butkus. Here's a couple more Deion Sanders rookies. I'm not sure if you guys remember this one, but that Bo Nose, you know, that was a fun one back in the day. I remember that being a big hit in my collection. We had a ton of Griffey rookies. I've been pretty selective and took out the best of the best, trying to get, you know, PSA 9, PSA 10. And then here's another 89. This Mark McGwire, I've actually sent quite a few of these off for grading and not had a whole lot of luck. Got a couple of PSA 9s. I actually had one come back, a PSA 7, because I guess I forgot to flip it over and there was a mark on it. But this is one of the best looking Mark McGwire 87 Topps rookies I've found. Here's a Larry Bird 86 Fleer, which is the Jordan year. But this one is in phenomenal shape. And then we've got a couple, actually there's two regular Topps Barry Bond rookies, an O.P.G. Barry Bonds rookie. Then we've got another Deion Sanders rookie, Randy Johnson, another Randy Johnson rookie, couple more Ken Griffey's. This one I found and was pretty excited. I remember this being a big chase back in the day, the Andrew Jones rookie card. And this card looks absolutely perfect. I've put it under the light, looked it over really well. I don't see any reason this shouldn't be a 10. Centering looks perfect. And then we've got an old Dan Marino, one more Ken Griffey. Well, today, the guy who I picked up this collection from sent me a text message and said, hey, I found a couple more boxes. Actually, he said he found 5 more crates. And then he starts to show me one of the boxes, and he forgot to give me the good stuff. So in one of the boxes, there was a lot of stuff from the 60s and 70s, some O.J. Simpson rookie cards, which not sure if those are worth anything. There was, golly, tons and tons of stuff. I know he had a stack of Deion Sanders rookies in his hand. Anyway, so I'm going to bust through some of this football wax. You know, we're chasing some of the fun stuff from 89. I remember this not being necessarily my favorite year. And there's the old gum. Gotta love those gum cards on the back. And that's surprising. Usually these don't stick together. We will be looking for things like Bo Jackson in there, Ickey Woods. I don't know if you guys remember the Ickey Shuffle. There's a Michael Irvin rookie card. That's actually a really good one. Man, right off the bat, there's Randall Cunningham. There's Ickey Woods, speaking of which, 1,000-Yard Club. And these were the glossy cards. That was a big deal, too, back in the day. That was kind of our first insert. There's Chris Spielman, super rookie. Let's see here. Nothing really else in there. And these were, as you can see, 45 cents a pack back in the day, which was a lot of money. Around this time, I can remember going up to my grandparents up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my cousin and I riding our bike over. There was a penny candy store, and we would ride our bikes to the penny candy store, and we would get penny candy. And I can remember $1. You had enough candy to last you about a month. Oh, there's Herschel Walker. There's a good hit. John Stevens, don't remember him. There's one of the 1,000-yard club guys. There's Phil Simms, looking real skinny. Well, Cardinals. Bruce Matthews. Anyway, I can remember the cards. You know, if it was more than 25 cents per pack of cards back then, we'd get pretty frustrated just because you couldn't get very much. So we'd, you know, usually get 75 pieces of candy, you know, penny candy, and then we'd get 1 pack of cards. And that would have been in about about 85, 86 is when I started. And then 87's really, and there's a Bo Jackson. Good looking card right there, guys. That's his 2nd year card. I believe 86 or 87 would have been his first. So this is the 89. And yeah, I can remember the first year I really got into it was 1987. And I remember the 87 Topps baseball being the year that really got me going and chasing after that Mark McGwire and that Jose Canseco rookie cup card. You know, even though really the one that everybody chases after now is going to be the 85 Topps Mark McGwire when he was on the USA team card. That's the big hit. And we're going to stick those gum cards over there because they're pretty much ruined. As long as that gum's been in these packs, there's not much sense in keeping that back card. There's another Bo Jackson. This is actually a pretty good few packs we've opened up here, guys. Willie Gault. There's Lionel Manuel, 1,000-yard club. Howie Long, check him out. Funny seeing him in a jersey now that he's on TV all the time. Anyway, that's a good card right there. Ozzie Newsome. And guys, if you would, we're going to be opening lots of this stuff. Feel free to subscribe. Check us out. Next week, I'm going to be throwing a couple of different types of videos on here just to walk you guys through the collection and what we've done to get it ready to... Oh, that's a bummer. Topps All-Pro card. Joey Browner. That one's ruined by the gum. Anyway, we're going to do a little bit different type of video and show you guys what we've done with this collection. We have and there's Dan Marino. Good looking one. That one's nice and centered. Nice crisp corners. These cards are in pretty dang good shape, surprisingly. As long as they've been sitting over there in these bins and stuck in somebody's garage. Yes, when you package them well, put them in nice plastic bins, doesn't matter what temperature it is in the garage. These things just continue to last. Anyway, so I'm going to show you guys what we found. You know, the amount of actual hits and things that we're going to sell. And I'm going to be picking up the rest of the collection with all the big hits in it. So I might do a little video just showing you guys what's inside this box that I'm going to pick up. There's Kurt Warner, 1,000-yard club. That's a good card. Jim Kelly. And then show you guys, you know, how many cards we've gone through. We started making bulk boxes today of all the junk wax that I didn't really want to open. You know, there was a lot of 88 Topps, and believe it or not, some of the old Sportflix cards, which I didn't even like back in the day, but I like even less now because they're impossible to see anything on. They did, you know, the biggest thing for a kid was having cards that we could enjoy and look at the pictures and see the people on the teams that we followed. And the Sportflix cards were just impossible to figure out who the heck was who. You had to flip them all over on the back and sift through them one at a time. Wasn't a big fan of that. If you would, do me a favor and like this video. We appreciate knowing that there's people out there watching these things, and we plan on making... Oh, there we go. That's a really good one, guys. The Herschel Walker Glossy 1,000-yard club. I'm guessing that one's probably worth a few bucks. And not seeing a whole lot else in this pack. Whitestone, John Elliott. I'm trying to remember 1989, who would have been Super Bowl champs that year. I think it was 90 is when the Bills had that last minute loss where they didn't make that field goal. It's a fun area, and there's a good one. Ricky Sanders, wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. That was my brother's favorite team back in the day. Growing up in South Carolina, we didn't have our own team, so we had to kind of pick and choose. I tried to be a Falcons fan for a little while, but the Bears kind of took over for me as a kid because they had those fun players and Refrigerator Perry, and they had their music video and stuff like that. I believe that was maybe 87. And then I got into the Bengals for a little while just because of the Ickey Shuffle, when Ickey was kind of the big name for a little while. There's Tim Brown. Look at that All-Pro card. That's a cool one. Mike Rozier. Wish they'd bring that back with the 1,000-Yard Club. I liked those cards. That'd be a neat insert for them to revive. Not sure with Fanatics and buying up tops and what we're going to see. The cards nowadays have gotten a little absurd. There's just too much going on. Kind of like the chasing things to build a set. And that was always the biggest thing when you had a set of something back in the day that meant something. Nowadays, people don't even care. They throw away a bunch of the cards, and there's Kurt Warner. Man, it's amazing to think he had been around as long as he had. He was 83 was his rookie year. John Settle, don't really remember him. I guess 89. I wonder if that was, and there's a good one, guys. Thurman Thomas, super rookie card. Little off center, left to right. Top to bottom looks pretty good. Not worth grading, but that's a really good rookie card. Surface looks pretty darn good. There's Vinny Testaverde. That's a cool one. Back of that card's got a little bit of wax mess on it, so we're going to stick that aside. Unfortunately, the wax on the back, it held these packs together, and then the gum on the front, unless you opened them back in 1989, before the wax had a chance to... Oh, let's check there. That Ronnie Lott card is ruined. The gum got it. Unless you open them back in the day, the front card and the back card are pretty much trash nowadays. And there's Joe Montana looking good. And I'm wondering if that was the year when the 49ers won. I have to look back. I'm trying to remember. There's Jerry Rice. That's a good card right there, the 1,000-Yard Club. Keith Jackson. Cornelius Bennett. There you go with the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo had a few years there where they were trying real hard to win a Super Bowl, but they just never had any luck. And I think they're still holding out. And how about that big loss for the 49ers yesterday? I thought they were going to be making a heck of a run, but they ran into a team that did not want to play the same game as them. They took them to task, so... Funny to watch people that are holding out hope for a huge year for the 49ers, and I'm sure they're still going to... That's one way to make the video fun. Sorry about that, guys. Knocked the camera right off, so we'll get that fixed. Sorry about that. I would edit that out, but honestly I haven't figured that part of the video process out yet. Editing videos. So you guys get to go on a trip and see my office. There's Eddie Brown. Warren Moon. Here's Lawrence Taylor. That's a good looking card. Topps All-Pro card. I think we'll do maybe a couple more and save these, and we'll do a mixer pack since we've got so many different years of football. Open these last two. And if you see anything in here you really want to get your hands on, check us out at Superfly Collectibles SC on eBay. We've got, I don't know, about 5,000 listings on there now. Quickly on our way to about, and there's Dan Marino again. That one's actually a little off center, left to right. These cards are always pretty condition sensitive as far as centering. And there's record breaker Eric Dickerson. That's a good card. Jamie Morris. Let's see there. John Stevens on the 1,000-yard club. And Howie Long again. And feel free to comment if you see anything on here you want. Do not mind circumnavigating eBay to sell you something. Love to get away from those eBay fees. That's a bummer. Actually, that's, yeah, it was Steve Largent there. On the back with the gum. And it's ruined, unfortunately. Got a guy on my team named Andrew who's from out in Washington State. It's actually where I was born, who's a big Seattle fan. There's one. No gum stain on that one. Andrew, if you're watching, there's a Steve Largent for you. I'll stick that aside just for you, buddy. There's a Jerry Rice All-Pro. That one's actually in really good shape. Good centering. A little bit off-center, left to right. Christian Ayotte. That one's got a little bit of wax on it. There's Ricky Sanders again. We're starting to double up, so. That's the first time I've seen one of those. 1988 NFL interception leaders. Eric McMillan and Scott Case. It's the first one of those I've seen, even going through tons of that stuff. Anyway, appreciate you guys for watching. Like I said, like and subscribe. We'll be doing a bunch more of these here in the very near future. And I apologize for knocking the phone off the stand and taking you guys on a wild ride. I appreciate you watching our videos and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.